Welcome, guys. Today we're going to be reacting to the horrors of the Hanta virus. The only reason why the screen is black is because my video footage keeps corrupting. But forget about that. Just be sure to subscribe, join my Minecraft server, and the Discord server. That'll all be in the description and the comments. So enjoy the video.
The other night, while I was casually browsing a rather eccentric subreddit, I came across a weird post. Jake Rosemarin, a travel influencer from Boston who boasts more than 44,000 Instagram followers, shares a tearful video.
I normally wouldn't make a video like this, but I feel like I need to say something, so I wrote a few things down. I am currently on board the MV Hondius, and what's happening right now is very real for all of us here. We're not just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people. People with families, with lives, with people waiting for us at home. There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's the hardest part. All we want right now is to feel safe, to have clarity, and to get home. So if you're seeing coverage about this, just remember that there are real people behind it, and that this isn't something happening somewhere far away. It's happening to us right now. I'll share more when I can, but for now, I just ask for your kindness and understanding.
The man in the video, Jake, appeared to be on some sort of cruise ship, and though he didn't exactly state why, he was evidently in some type of danger. Within the next 24 hours, Jake's video would go extremely viral, and it was during this time where I gained more context as to what was exactly happening in this disturbing footage. Jake was trapped on a cruise ship. He wasn't allowed to leave. In fact, the ship itself was banned from docking entirely. All the meanwhile, people on the ship were dying, and Jake was seemingly next. The MV Hondius.
So, this influencer was recording on the cruise ship. So he was one of the he was the person on the cruise ship. Well, he was one of them. I don't know. That seemed kind of fake though. That was like a forced cry, like he was forcing. But I don't know. But wow, I couldn't imagine being on a cruise ship with the whole entire virus just slowly engulfing the whole entire cruise ship. That would be pretty scary. Yeah, alright, let's go.
A cruise ship carrying approximately 150 passengers from Argentina. Its destination is in the Netherlands. As the ship begins making its way across the Atlantic Ocean, the passengers inside settle into their temporary homes. Among them is Dutch ornithologist Leo Schilperode and his wife Miriam. Unfortunately, these two won't live long enough to see the Netherlands.
So it seems like this Leo guy and his wife are patient zero, it seems like, for that strain of hantavirus. Well, maybe not that strain and specifically. They might have not been patient zero, but on the cruise ship they were patient zero. If you know what I mean. You probably don't.
It isn't entirely evident at first, but something very bad is about to happen on the MV Hondius. Not even a week into the trip, Leo begins telling his wife that he doesn't feel well. On top of stomach pain and a headache, he is also developing a fever. Though it is initially thought that Leo might just be experiencing some type of common flu, Miriam watches helplessly as her husband gets even worse. On the 5th day of battling his symptoms, Leo passes away. The news is kept on the down low, as if not to frighten the other passengers and cause a panic. With coordination from the ship's staff, they plan to sneak Miriam and Leo off the ship when docking in St. Helena. This plan is ultimately successful, but as Miriam travels to the airport, she collapses in the terminal. Airline staff quickly run to check on her, but
Wait a minute. Does that mean that she could have infected the other people that touched her? Because when they go to check on her, they're obviously like touching her and trying to like move her and wake her up and stuff. But like, couldn't it have spread to the airport too? Oof, that would not be good.
it's no use. Miriam, just like her husband, has died. And the cause of the couple's death is still aboard the MV Hondius, and they won't be the only victims.
Yeah, so I think we expect that the cases are going to continue rising.
Just very non-specific symptoms, a lot of confusion and a lot of weakness, and she ultimately passed away relatively quickly.
Then it can progress to really serious heart and lung problems and death in up to 40% of cases.
Okay, hold up just a minute. So this dude is an actor? The boat dude?
It started like the same thing 6 years ago where they started talking about it in the news. They say, don't worry about it, you know. And now they're saying, oh, okay, it's really contagious when you're next to someone.
This isn't something happening somewhere far away. It's happening to us right now.
Before we get too deep into the video, I just want to make mention that obviously this story is very new and developing. But of course, you know, as a story develops, especially when it's as new as this one, there will be natural corrections, you know, to some of the information and stuff like that. So that's sort of just something to be mindful of. And the purpose of this video is to inform individuals on, you know, sort of what's going on. You know, I know that this is very scary and everything like that, but I think it's important at the end of the day to stay informed as best as you can. As always, guys, I appreciate you for taking the time to check out this video. And if you enjoy it and you would like to see more like it, please make sure to subscribe to Something Sinister. With the MV Hondius en route to its next destination, the circumstances regarding Leo and Miriam's death could not be ignored. Especially because as the cruise ship began making its way across the overseas territory of Ascension Island, another passenger began showing symptoms similar to Leo's. Headache, fatigue, stomach pain, and a fever, all of which would eventually take the life of this passenger. This combination of ailments offered little in the way of determining exactly what sickness was making its rounds on board the ship. On May 2nd, nearly a month after the cruise
So that's 3 people. The virus is taking out 3 people already.
ship's initial departure from Argentina, staff aboard the ship were given instructions. They were to spread a cryptic message to the passengers, telling them to limit close contact with one another and to frequently wash their hands. This naturally caused many individuals aboard the ship to question the reasons behind these seemingly random instructions. With 3 individuals now having passed due to the aforementioned symptoms, the World Health Organization would begin investigating. Based on the information given by members aboard the MV Hondius, as well as news from Leo and other casualties, the organization came to a disturbing conclusion. Somewhere along the ship's journey, or perhaps prior to, Leo had contracted a fatal strain of Hanta virus, the same virus that took the life of Leo's wife and the other individual aboard the ship. But by the time this revelation could be made, it was already too late. Countless passengers and staff on the MV Hondius had been exposed to Leo. On top of that, some of them had even departed from the ship following its stop in St. Helena, exposing themselves to individuals on the mainland. I think it's impossible to talk about this story without making some sort of mention regarding the events of 2020. There are some key differences, however, between the previous pandemic and hantavirus. So, as I sort of mentioned before, all of the information in this video is very new and developing. As it stands right now, there are
I don't know. There probably won't be another lockdown. There probably won't be a lockdown. It doesn't seem to spread too easily. So we're about to see how Leo contracted the virus.
In late 2025, Leo and Miriam arrived in South America for a 5-month trip. When viewing photos, the landfill sticks out like a sore thumb among the rather scenic mountainous backdrop. But despite its looks, the landfill is apparently a pilgrimage point for birdwatchers like Leo and Miriam, as it's home to a very rare species of bird. Locals in the area refer to the landfill as a mountain of waste that should be avoided at all costs. Despite this, Leo and Miriam decided to visit it anyway. As it turns out, the reason that the landfill is so dangerous is because it's home to the long-tailed pygmy rice rat, whose fecal matter is known to carry the Andes strain of Hanta virus. It's very widely accepted that Leo most likely contracted the virus while visiting the landfill. The strange thing, however, is that up until this point, the virus was only thought to spread through waste, saliva, and blood. If Leo didn't make any direct contact with any of these factors, then how did he end up with a deadly strain of the virus? Well, the theory is that the virus may spread through the air. According to this UK government website, the disease is believed to transfer by inhaling the aerosolized virus particles from something like dust. Obviously, given that the virus spreads through blood and saliva, you might assume that a vast majority of those affected with the virus might have gotten bit by one of these rice rats. But it actually doesn't happen very often. But when it comes to Leo's transmission of the virus to other passengers aboard the MV Hondius, excluding Miriam, the answer is not so simple. Because as of right now, we don't exactly know how human-to-human transmission occurs. Given the tight quarters of the cruise ship, it's believed that close contact is required for someone to contract the virus. Given these circumstances, airborne transmission is a likely and disturbing possibility. The virus itself is characterized as a pulmonary syndrome, meaning that if you are unfortunate enough to contract it, your respiratory system will be the main target. Fluid buildup in the lungs and chest are typically what cause the affected person to succumb to the virus, the mortality rate being between 35 and 50%. But all of this.
Sorry about the cutting the video short. Yeah, corrupted footage. If you want me to react to other things, just tell me in the comments. And have a good day.